Hey, courageous souls, it's Glenda. And today I'm going to just talk about how we can uncover truths that are hiding, how we can change old habits. Are you ready to change habits that are holding you back? Or maybe you're stuck in some kind of pattern of behavior that's actually driving you nuts and creating pain in your life. Well, I have some solutions for you for that. You know, it's so empowering to see the world through new eyes, to come up with new ways of doing things. It's really easy for us to stay stuck in just what we know. But it's much more fun to have all kinds of ahas. That's where our joy is. That's where abundance is. And when we have ahas, I don't know about you, but it's one of the most exciting things I can experience. You know, when you're just having one of those really amazing conversations with somebody, sometimes a random stranger or somebody that's really important to you, and you're just deep into it and you're going back and forth and you're really engaged in the conversation. And suddenly, like, you have this flood of feeling. It's like this clarity comes over you because something has been uncovered for you through that exchange. And not only is it exciting and awesome, but it can also be just a little bit scary because you're like, now I know what's happening for me. And that sometimes means we have to make some choices and change. So there is a little temptation when we're having those ahas, when we've had those big conversations, to kind of want to stop and go, I'm just going to cling on and hang on to this joyful moment because that scary part, I don't want that. And so we hang on to that joy and that aha, and then we decide, I'm not going to search any further. So what ends up happening with that is we can close ourselves off. So it's just something to be aware of what happens when we are in the middle of an aha, that there is that option to now say, I don't want any more. So I don't want that for you. So I want to tell you a little story about myself when I opened up to change. When I was growing up, I had a sign on my bedroom wall, and I think I actually still have it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it says on it, rule number 1, I'm always right. Rule number 2, when I'm wrong, see rule number 1. And I thought this was the most hilarious, awesome thing I could ever have on my wall. And it tells you a lot about my attitude that I had when I was growing up. I felt very certain about certain things. I was opinionated, often to the point of ticking people off in a serious way. And it got me into a very regimented way of thinking and being. And it actually led me into practicing sort of perfectionism. I was never allowed to let myself fail because I felt like the humiliation and the embarrassment was so great from those moments that I couldn't recover from them. And so this kind of did set me up for a way of being that prevented me from connecting and learning and growing and having really deep and amazing relationships. So I don't want that for you. When we're in those moments of feeling certain, there's a choice that we have. We can stick with that status quo, that feeling of being right, that feeling of knowing, or we can make the choice to go deeper and look for bigger understanding. So the solution for coming to finding hidden truths, got tongue twisters today going on, is to ask a question, to get curious. And that's what I did too when my life compiled together from all my attitudes and all my feelings of being righteous and right and trying to be perfect. My world crumbled and closed down. And I did the simple thing of asking a question. I wrote that down in a little journal that I had in my bag. I felt compelled to just start this inquiry into what had gone on in my life. And when I did that, it was incredible. The floodgates just opened up for me of the truth and the solutions, and I had clarity. And it was scary. It was really scary because I knew from that honest dialogue with myself, that delving deep into what was going on for me, that some big changes had to occur. So this is not an easy process, but it's an incredibly powerful process. So asking yourself good questions, not just shallow questions, but questions that are open. They lead us to greater understanding. They have to be open and optimistic kind of type of questions in order to bring about the possibilities for us. So that's my thing for today. Ask yourself some amazing questions. You can read about what I've talked about in my blog post, and check out my website where there's more solutions for you to have a more courageous life, a more empowering life, a life that is open to choice and possibilities. Thanks.